let's say this 12% is something that just happened out of nowhere, right? Like this is recent, but 12% is still a lot if you think about it. Do you think that they might have to change the rules to get their men back in line just in case this might become a slippery slope?
You forget that they have polygyny still.
Because like the thing
So
is like this isn't really conquering if you're going out like this isn't them coming to America and being able to take the land. Like, no, you out here just frolicking around while your women are back at home, like to Bruce's point, with nobody to marry. So you're not even doing it. You're not even doing what the intended purpose of it when it was. There was an intention behind it. There were people going around conquering lands and this, that, and the third. Now you just out here playing house. So do y'all believe that might have to be a law that, like, let's say for instance, this becomes a slippery slope. Let's just beg the question, like, all right, it goes from 12 to 15 to 20 to 30 in the next 40, 50, 100 years. At what point do you have to put boundaries? At what point do the country have to start setting boundaries or relinquishing some boundaries?
In Britain, I don't know if you guys know what's happening in Britain, but there is an Islamization happening in Britain that the British are trying to fight against. This is part of that conquer thing. And I don't agree with it. You know, I'm Arab and I still don't agree with this because I don't think it's right for, you know, I used to live in Liverpool. The beautiful thing about Britain is the British, not the Arabs. I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry. When I go to Britain, I don't want to see Arabs everywhere. I want to see British. But you talking about Sweeney, you said like what the conquering that's happening right now. Many British women are converting to Islam and having um, Arab, Arab, half Pakistani, half Muslim babies.
To
Anybody
answer your
Muslim?
question, Sweeney, it kind of is a law that kind of compensates for this kind of behavior. The fact that polygyny is on the table, telling these men you can have your cake and eat it. I'm not going to even call that. Telling these men you can have as many women as you want. Just stay here. The fact that you can do that and you still go outside tells me it's got to be something other than the women outside. It's got to be something with these women that you're dealing with. And like I said, something is masking something about these women. And I don't think it's just this right here. It's got to be something deeper than that.
I got
But
a question.
but I think that's but the thing is that we've seen kids that rejected their parents before. Because the thing wasn't they're not rejecting the women, they're rejecting the tradition. They're rejecting the tradition that holds them accountable and holds
And
them to a certain standard. And they're saying, I don't want to live this life.
what is that? What is the standard that they're
I,
rejecting, that they're getting away from that they wouldn't have if they married an outsider? Where's the
um,
contrast at?
I would
it's
assume
Well,
that they have a certain level of responsibility that they owe, like you know what I mean, that they owe to their wives. They have a certain level of responsibility that they owe to their communities that you have to do as a married man once you after you done playing around outside, when you come home, is let's get down to business. And they may not this group of men may not want to get down to business.
and
Amira said earlier that
real
Amir,
fast, and Amira did mention that a lot. I mean, the father has to want you to marry her daughter. Maybe the qualifications, maybe they're not meeting them or something. I don't know. But I had a question for Amira when it comes to polygyny, like whatever. What are the rules? Like, so does the wife have anything to say about that, or does she have an opinion in that? How does that go?
Yeah, the first wife has the say. The first wife, typically. So
So
whoever was the first wife, yeah, you have
So it
to.
could be that those women don't want to be a part of that situation, right? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
Oh, are you talking to Sweeney or me?
no, I'm talking to you.
Oh, no. I mean, it depends on the woman. There's some women who want more wives because they don't want the burden of childbearing and child rearing all on themselves and taking care of the home. They want help. Many women would prefer a community instead of being alone.
Okay.
We see things a lot differently.
Well, then that makes sense for that proves Bruiser's point. It is something else that's, because if the women are on board, why wouldn't you just marry multiple women and that just solves the problem?
Because that's why I said I think it's an expectation of the men that they're rejecting. They're rejecting their traditional role.
Yeah, but you're saying that as if their traditional role doesn't extend out to whoever they marry. You're saying that,
But they still, I don't think they can still marry outside though. You still can't marry outside.
but does that change? So you are, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you married a woman within your tribe or within your culture, you got to adhere to the marriage standards and principles your culture present for you.
Unless your wife is down for not doing it. Because there's women who are down for being rebels too. You got to remember, you can find a woman that doesn't want to be bound by the
What I'm asking is, does the principles and standards that the man supposed to live by, does that still continue regardless of who he married?
Oh, under the religion, yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So like his standards and principles of how he is as a husband to his wife and his children is unwavering no matter who he married. So
Is the expectation? I'm
if he
sorry.
married a woman from Miami, he still got to go by his religion or his traditional cultures.
No, not really, because
Is the expectation different as far as when you spoke earlier about like sitting around talking shit and trying to one up each other or keeping up with the Joneses? That expectation doesn't necessarily carry over when you marry a woman from another culture, would you say, or do you think it does?
I don't think it's that much pressure, because think about it, a Russian woman is not going to be so eager to be like, oh, we must impress Fahar and Fatima from across the street. They're not going to care. They're going to say, we're in it together. Whatever we can do is what it's going to be.
Also, Bruiser, the reason why I said I think it would be different is because his role is not only the role that is set to him by his parents, it's also set to him by her parents. They also have an expectation of him. So when you marry within, they have an expectation. Your parents have an expectation of you, and her parents have an expectation of you. Am I right, Ameera? So when they marry within, another Qatari woman, did I say that right? When they marry another Qatari woman, there's both groups having an expectation of him. So if he marries outside of that, his parents may still have this expectation, but if you marry outside of that and you leave the country, they may get cut off or some shit like that. For all I don't know. But there's no societal pressure from her side of the family, and then there's no societal.
I want to share something with you guys, just really quickly. Run a fun fact: the name of that country, Qatar, there's no proper way to say it. There's no actual proper way to say it, because it was when they made the name of the country, it's not really a word, so you can say it however you want to say it.
Okay.
You can call it Cater, Qatar, whatever.
QT.